For today's lesson, I was concentrating on lapsed time. Having previously focused on place value, time being one of the second criteria for grade 3 and 4 for term 1, I really wanted to get into a bit more of the deeper understanding of being able to tell lapsed time in scheduling, in particular train timetables. Still keeping to the Hillsville learning structure of gradual release of responsibility and the number fluency activity, that short 5-10 minute activity, taking on previous feedback and observations that my tasks set tended to go over the 5 or 10 minutes. I created a couple of quick worksheets, one tailored at the grade 4s, one at the grade 3s. It could have been mixed as well depending on the ability of the students, which by this time I had time to assess and be able to give. Both of these sheets were on particular days, so they're Tuesdays up the top, Wednesdays right through the Fridays. This is the week commencing a public holiday, so hence why there's no Monday. Students had to quickly fill out that section on that particular day and hold on to the sheet for the remainder of the day. This was a really great tool for me because it ensured that it was a quick task for the rest of the week, so that was done. It was quite successful as well, so it's something I'll be using in the future. Moving on to the lapsed time portion of the lesson. Previously, the students had learnt how to tell the time to the 15-minute, quarter hour, and some of those advanced students to the 5 minutes. Seeing as lapsed time or telling lapsed time was part of the Victorian curriculum, and I couldn't find any suitable worksheets, and wanting to develop my own teacher resources, I created my own worksheet on lapsed time, giving the students a visual timetable. We did try previously, I did work with a neighbouring teacher and created a table format of a timeline with analogue times. However, students found that quite difficult to read. Therefore, I said I'd give it a go and giving them something on a number line that students were very familiar with. Creating lines or the scheduled times in red, therefore making it extremely identifiable for the students for what times trains were stopping at certain stations, and to avoid the I don't understand the worksheet. Spending some time understanding the worksheet, talking to students through the stations and the times without giving them too much of the answers, we moved on to a worksheet, a questionnaire that students were then to work on independently. Questions ranged from what time did the train arrive at such and such station, if the train was delayed by 5 minutes at B station, what time would it arrive at C station, things like that worked really well. Previous reflections stated that I often created activities that students got through quite quickly and never had an additional or those fast finisher activities. Taking that on board, created another worksheet, one where the students were to convert the times from the original number line of the train and converting it into the clock face. One that the advanced students were able to fill quite quickly and understood, and other students, the more middle range to the lower ability students, stayed with the worksheet. I did have the intended action or plan to find an interactive game online that the students and I could work at together as part of the We Do of the Hillsville learning teaching structure. However, I found quite conflicting information online, and through lack of time wasn't able to find something appropriate. So it's something that I will want to find in the future, trying to find different type of manipulatives, mathematical manipulatives, to coincide with my research action plan to find as much data as possible. Overall reflection was I was extremely happy with the worksheet that I created myself, instead of going to a textbook and finding something that someone else developed for their class. Finding something or creating something to tailor to my class was extremely satisfying, and the students were able to understand it. It went quite well. I was focusing on time being something that my mentor and I had discussed to ensure that time scheduling stayed on track, and moving on to the specialist.